For this example, it is the example 3 on page 260. Solve this system 2x plus 3y equals 17. First equation. Second equation, 5x plus 7y equals 29. Alright, we'll use the elimination method. Alright, how do we solve this? Remember, for elimination methods, usually you look at the two equations, try to find one variable, either x or y, that can be easily eliminated. And how easy it is to find by the coefficient of the variables. If the coefficient of the variables, coefficient of the same variable in the two equations are the same and opposite side, use that right away. Use that variable with that coefficient and eliminate that coefficient. That's what we did in the first example. For the second example, a little tricky. We have to do something which we multiply by -2 on both sides for the first equation so that we can eliminate the variable y. Now, for this example, which variable is that we can eliminate easily? 2, 5, 3, 7. Alright. 2 and 5 are not multiple each other. 3 and 7 are not multiple each other. In the second example, 3 and 6 are multiple of each other. That's why you multiply 2 to the coefficients of the variable y. In the first equation, you get 6 because 3 and 6 are multiple of each other. For this case, they're not. 3 and 7 are not multiple of each other. 2 and 5 are not multiple of each other. Alright, so this is a little bit tricky. So how do we do this? Okay, I can think of variable x for this case, okay? Now, remember our goal is to get, let's say I want to eliminate coefficient x, okay? I want to eliminate coefficient x. So I want the coefficient of the x is some constant, okay, called a. And I want the coefficient of x in the second equation to be -a, okay? So that when I add, I will get a 0 for x, or x will be eliminated. So this is what I want. Alright, how do I get that? How do I get the same coefficient for x with opposite side? Now, what we can do is think about 2 times 5 is 10, right? 2 times 5 is 10. So what if you make the coefficient of x in the first equation 10 and make the coefficient of x in the denominator is 10? Okay, let's do that. Because if you do that, you will have the same coefficient, right? Alright. Let's multiply, what's it called? That multiplies -5 to the first equation. And multiply, when you multiply, make sure you multiply the same number on both sides. Okay, multiply -5 on both sides of the first equation. Okay, now I also want to multiply 2 in the second equation. Okay. Now, up to you how you want to do it. I usually like to use a big braces that enclose the two equations, okay? And I'll use this braces for each step. So I know that, okay, this braces, the first line is always the first equation, the second line is always the second equation. Alright, so for this first line right here, we need to distribute, remove the parentheses. So multiply -5 to 2x, then multiply this here, Multiply negative 5 to 2x, get negative 10x. Multiply this to 3y, you get negative 15y. Multiply this, you get 17 times 5 times 7, 35. 5 times 1 is plus 3 is 8, right? 5 times 7, 35. 5 carry 3. 5 plus 1 is 5. Sorry, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So 85 was negative here, don't forget, negative 85. Okay. For the second equation, we do the same thing. We distribute 2 to each term inside the parentheses. 2 times 5 is 10. 10x. 2 times 7 is 14y equal to 2 times 29 multiply 2 times 9 is 18, 8 carry 1, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 18, 8, 1, okay, 58. So there's no negative, it positive 58. Okay, now, after we just multiply negative 5, the first equation, we get this equivalent equation, and we multiply by 2 to the second equation, and we get this equivalent equation to the equation 2. Now look at that. You have same coefficient, 10, 10, with opposite side, right? For x. That means you can eliminate this x variable. You can do that by adding the first equation to the second equation. Negative 10x plus 10x is 0. Negative 15y plus 14y is negative y equal to, now, negative 85 subtract 58. 15 divided by, 15 subtract by 8 is 7. 15 subtract by 8 is 7. Don't forget the 1s. Add 1 to 6. To 5 right here, you get 6. 8 subtract 6 is 2. Okay, 27. But don't forget the bigger number. Don't forget the bigger number is negative, so you're going to keep the sign of that negative number, that bigger number, which is negative 27. We're almost there. 0 subtract y is negative y equal to negative 27. Continue. If you divide both sides by negative 1, simplify negative divided by negative is 1, positive 1 times y. Negative 27 divided by negative 1 is positive 27. So 1 times y is y 27. So you have y is equal to 27. Once you know one variable, you can find the other variable. So you substitute this y with 27 to either one of the original equations. Which one is that? Look like this one is a little bit easier because the constant and the coefficients are smaller. So let's call this equation 1, this equation 2. So, okay. So for equation 1, we have 2x plus 3y equal to 17. And this is equation 1. I'm going to substitute this y with 27 to the y in the equation 1. 2x plus 3 times 27 equals 17. Okay, after you substitute the y here, this equation 1, become an equation with only one variable x. That means we can solve for x now. 2x plus 27 times 3 is what? 3 times 7, 21. Carry 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 times 7, 21. 1 carry 2. Alright, 81. Okay, you need to solve for x. Rewriting this. We need to solve for x. So we need to remove this term. 2x plus 81, subtract 81 is 0. Now 81 subtract 17. 11 divided by 7 is 4. Don't forget the ones. 2 here. 8 subtract 2 is 6. 64. 2x plus 0 is 2x. Equals 64. Divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. Equal to 6 divided by 2 is 3 times 2 is 6. 0, 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract. So it's 32 for x. Now, let's check everything to see. Wait, I did something wrong here. I forgot the sign. Don't forget 17 subtract 81. The bigger number has, you need to say the sign of the bigger number because 17 is positive, right? Negative 81 is negative. But 81 in terms of the length is bigger. If you take the absolute value of negative 81 is 17. Absolute value of negative 81 is always bigger than absolute value of 17. So you need to use the sign of the bigger number. So apologize for that. 2x plus 81 subtract 81 is 0. 17 subtract 81 is negative 64. Divide both sides by 2. We get x negative here. So x is negative 32. Now, you got x, you got y. I mean, you're done with solving the system equation. But make sure you say the last sentence, thus the solution is the order pair. First coordinate is x. What's x? X is negative 32. The second coordinate is y. What is y? Y is 27. So we have negative 32, 27 is the solution or the answer of this example.